In some distant place in the future, we see each other in our new lives. I'll smile at you with joy and remember how we spent a summer beneath the trees, learning from each other and growing in love.
It's an interesting question, but as a kid in a primary school in the eastern suburbs of Melbourne, I remember singing in choirs for a Stedfords and starting in grade one and and doing pantomimes and plays. But the reality is, and this is my philosophy and mine alone, music will source you out. Music will find you, not you as an individual finding music. Music will work its way to you. And it's if we believe as Indigenous people that we are connected to this thing greater than the physical, meaning this connection to our ancestry and our culture and our language and our true understanding of a true songline. As an individual, you will have your own songline. Your family will have theirs. Your clan, your tribe, therefore your country, your traditional country, will have its own songline. So music, as an Indigenous person, will find us and teach us all the true songlines of the country of which you're from. So hopefully that answered your question.
Hold my hand, I'll lead the way. I won't let go of all astray. Ain't no if but.
Long story, to cut a long story short, I remember as a kid in a Wattle Park Primary School, where I attended as a young kid. I remember singing in choirs to enter, the school would enter a Stedfords around the district, and I was also in a drum band, so I had this rhythm in my soul, I suppose, in my character. But it's an interesting question, because my belief is that music will source you out. As an Indigenous person, we are all connected to our belief systems. And my belief is that each individual will have their songline, each family will have their family songline, each clan will have their songline, each tribe will have their songline, and each country of where you're from will have its songline. And so as Indigenous people, we've got to stop connecting ourselves to this stupid apparatus. My belief is if we tap into our understanding of a true songline, that we will start singing and understanding the responsibility that comes with understanding a songline. So it's a very intricate question, and it's a complex question, and there are more answers than just what I'm giving you now. So takes a lot longer than 2 minutes to explain it. But my belief is that music will source you out and find you. Bit similar to if you sit around a campfire, the smoke will obviously the most handsomest or the most prettiest person around the fire will attract the smoke. Bit like music. Music will source you out. Yeah. I hope that answered your question. My family, and to understand the answer, you need to understand my family. No use knowing Kutcha Edwards as this one entity when I'm, one of 12 kids, to my mum and dad, Mary and Nugget, to my grandparents, of which I have 8 great-grandparents, 16 great-great-grandparents, and so forth and so on. And and all my children, I've only got one biological child, but all my, I'm the second and third fathers of my brothers and sisters' children. I'm the grandparents of their children. I'm not their distant uncle, or I have this different understanding of responsibility within my family, but my family are my biggest influence, and I will fight tooth and nail for my family, and for our songline, the Edwards family songline and the Mati Mati songline. And that's to me, the most influential people are my family. Fair enough, I've performed with whoever across the Australian music industry, but they don't come to my house and sit with my family and eat the stew that we eat and the damper that our mum cooked or stuff like that. So yeah, we're a very close-knit family, and we'll remain that way. Way after we're gone. Physically, we will meet again with our old people upstairs and sitting with my nanas and pops. I think completely different from the supposed normal. I just think my way. My most memorable gig to date was again a performance that my family created. It was called Songlines of a Mati Mati Man, and it involved some brothers, a sister who has now gone to her dreaming, and my son Kutcha, my nephews, my band, and it was this amazing story of the what we believe to be the songline of Kutcha Edwards. And again, it's not just this individual performance. We're telling the story of my brother's thoughts as an 11-year-old kid holding me in a police car driving down from Swan Hill when I was 18 months old. I can't remember that, but my brother tells the story of the six of us sitting in this police car and coming down through Diggers Rest and seeing, this place called Melbourne lit up, a bit like Wizard of Oz entering into the land of Oz, and these are things that have made me me, my childhood, and I will in turn tell my grandchildren, and they will tell their grandchildren of their their old papa, Kutcha, and all their papas and nanas telling this story about Songlines of a Mati Mati Man. So for me, that's the most memorable and most powerful performance that I can, ever recall. But yeah, it'll remain with me, way after my death.
Don't wanna go, don't need to stay, but I really need to get it together.
It's just another day. It's just another day that we have to. But then again, we're remembering. We're remembering what it must have been like for the mob at on Eora country who saw these ships come in and these ghosts get off these weird boats that had sails and had guns and swords, and what they must have felt on that day. And so it's about remembering, and in a sense, not celebrating, but we are celebrating the 220 something years of sovereignty that our people have never ceded and will never cede. And we will fight to the end, not in a physical sense, but in an understanding that as a Mati Mati man, I will never cede sovereignty, and I will demand that my children do the same, and my grandchildren, and we can look back on that day and remember, but celebrate the longevity that we have, and we've learnt to adapt. We've learnt to connect through this new message stick, and using this camera to tell our new songline. And so we must remember that on the 26th of January each year, and each year we get older, but each year we get wiser, But our new kids, you know, our kids that are maybe only 2 or 3 days old. They must remember that when they're close to 50 like I am, that they must never cede their sovereignty to the visitor to this country, you know, and that's what we must remember on the 26th of January each year. For me, it's about dropping a pebble in a pond, and my responsibility is to drop the pebble. Whatever the ripple effect will be what it is. As Aboriginal people, we know what the day is about. But for non-Indigenous people who just might be walking past to go to Captain Cook's cottage to celebrate Australia Day, and they look across the way and they see all these Aboriginal people, what's going on over there? And they come across and they see this guy, Kutcha Edwards, performing his Songlines. And they, I can't determine what they're thinking, but my job is to drop the pebble. And not only in singing my songline, but maybe educating them as to, listen, across the way at the tennis centre and at the MCG, everybody's partying on, and all these non-Indigenous Australians are celebrating the fact that 200 and something years ago, Captain Cook supposedly discovered Australia. How can you discover something when there are already people here? So it's about educating the uneducated, and that's my job. That's what I was put on this earth to do, and that's what I will attempt to do for the rest of my days. But that's what I look forward to, is to dropping the pebble and seeing what happens. But hopefully our mobs come out in numbers, and we celebrate. We celebrate the fact that, again, we have never ceded sovereignty on this place that they now call Melbourne, you know, Australia. But I'm a proud Mutti man, and I will die a proud Mutti man. And I'll see yous all on the 26th of January for Survival Day 2015. Toodaloo.
Girl, you keep it on the down low. You keep on telling me nobody has to know, but